Hey guys, welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to be doing a tutorial on Tom DeMark trend lines, and his techniques and his theories are quite different from the classic school of trading. He is more of the modern school of trading. I belong to the classic school of trading more, but I still think his techniques work most of the time. So I'm just gonna make a tutorial on this specific technique by Thomas DeMark. So this technique is used to find targets when trend lines are broken. This technique is based on the demand and supply law. The demand and supply law is true on the classic school of economics and also on the modern school of economics. That's what moves the price up and down. But I'm not going to go into why this technique works because of the law of demand and supply. I'm not going to explain that, but if you want to know more about that, you can research on Google for Thomas DeMark theories, and you can learn about that. The first rule to use this technique is that you have to use it in 4-hour charts. So for this example, I'm going to be using the Bitcoin versus US dollar 4-hour candles from Bitstamp. And the first step after you are in a 4-hour chart is that you need to draw a trend line using only the two most current lows. For example, the two most current lows in this case would be from this one to this one here. Okay, but I'm not going to be using these two because we don't know yet if we're going to hit the target or not. So I'm going to use two older lows here so that we will see after we apply this technique if we actually hit our target or not. So I'm going to be using older lows here randomly on this chart. I have not practiced this on this chart. I'm just going to pick 2 or 3 random spots in this chart to see how accurate or not this technique is. So to start, I'm going to start with these two lows here. That's, by the way, one of the difference between the classic school of trading and modern school of trading. Classic school of trading says that for a trend line to be valid, it needs to be touched at least 3 times. But according to Thomas DeMark, you have to use only the two most recent points. So let's use these two, connecting this low with this low here, and just extend the line. So let's pretend we don't know what's going to happen here in the future. The chart would be somewhere here. So we draw a line in the two most recent lows here. And now we know that if this line is broken on the way down, the price is going to tank, but how deep? So that's where this technique comes into play. Okay, so now we have this trend line here. Now the next step is to identify the highest point after this last touch here when the price bounces up. What's the highest point before it retraces down? So in this case, is this green candle here at the highest. Let's draw a horizontal line there at the highest point here at the end of this green candle. And the next step is to draw a vertical line right on this candle, just like this. And now we need to draw another horizontal line right at the intersection between the trend line and the vertical line. So it's just here we have the intersection. We draw a horizontal line here. And now the last horizontal line we need to draw, it's going to be at the opening price of the first candle right below the trend line. So this red candle here opened above the trend line, so it's not valid. We go for the next candle, which is the first candle that opens right below the trend line, and in this candle we take the opening price, so right here. That's all the information we need now to calculate our profit taking target. So to do this, we take the highest price, which is, it was here in this green candle. The highest price is the price up here, 46.59. Okay, but we can say 46.60 to round it, 46.60. And now we have to subtract the price right at the intersection between the vertical line and the trend line. So the price right at the intersection, it says here, is 43.06, but we can round it to 4,300. So 46.60 minus 4,300, and it gives us a 360. So let's put this number down, 360. And now next step is we need to take the price of the opening of the first opening candle right below the trend line, which was this one here, is this horizontal line, and the price is 4,600. So we put here 4,600 minus the 360 we got from before, and 42.40 is exactly our price target. So let's see if this is true. 42.40, let's draw a horizontal line exactly at 42.40. Was it 42.40? Yeah, 42.40. So this is our target for taking profit at 42.40. So now the rule to set our stop loss for this technique is as follows. So we take the short position tool. We would enter the trade exactly where this candle opens after the trend line is broken. So we would enter our trade right here. We need to drag our profit taking target right at the number that we got after the calculations. We got 42.40, so we drag it to 42.40. And our stop loss, it has to be exactly at 3-to-1 risk reward ratio. So at exactly 3, which we will find by dragging this. You see this, the risk reward ratio, it says here, it has to be at the number 3. You have to get a number 3 there, which means if you win 3, if you lose 1. Okay, so there you go, it's at 3. Risk reward ratio is at 3. Now if we zoom in, we see that our stop loss was not triggered and our profit taking was perfect before it actually bounced up going all the way up here to 4,400. But we took our profit right before it bounced up here, and then after that, yeah, the price went down, but it doesn't matter because it was exactly the perfect target before the price actually bounced back up. So that was a valid target. Our stop loss was not triggered, so this was a valid trade. We would have made here an 8% profit in this trade. Now let's repeat this some other at the two most current lows. So we would have two lows here, pretending we don't know what's going to happen after this point because we don't know the future, but say we are somewhere here in time. Now what's the highest point after this second touch here? This bounces up and the highest point is here in this green candle. So let's draw a horizontal line right there. Now let's draw our vertical line right on that candle. Another horizontal line right at the intersection between the trend line and the vertical line. And now the last horizontal line will be the first opening candle right after the trend line was broken. So the opening price of the first candle below the trend line is exactly at the same level with the line at the intersection. So we're going to use the same number here. We don't need to draw another extra line there. So let's see our calculations now to get our target profit. So we have to take the highest price here, which is 4,400 minus the price at the intersection, which is it says here 41.13. So minus 41, let's round it to 41.10. So we get 290. Let's put this 290 here, 290, and now we need to take the price of the opening candle right after the trend line is broken, which is the same level as the line at the intersection, which is 41.10. So 41.10 minus the 290 we got from before, and this is our profit-taking target, 38.20. Let's see if this is true. 38.20 is our profit-taking right here. So we would have opened this trade right at the opening of the first candle below the trend line, which is here. Our profit taking is here, and we have to set our stop loss right at the three risk reward ratio. It says here risk reward ratio 3.1. This is close enough. If we zoom in, we see that our stop loss was not triggered, and we would actually have hit the target right in the same candle. Then it went up, and it went down, and it used the exact same target actually as a support later on in the future, but we would have met our target right on the candle where we were opening the trade. So we would have made 7.38% profit in 4 hours, and the stop loss was not triggered, so that was another valid trade. Let's repeat that one more time somewhere else here in this chart, anywhere really. Let's use this 2 here. So this one, let's use this 2 for example. This with this, right, are the 2. So these and these are 1 and 2, and then later on it bounced one more time, but it doesn't matter if we were here in time and we didn't know what was going to happen in the future, right? We had only 2 points here, so we draw our line there. And now let's see, the highest price after bouncing here was here in this red candle, so let's draw a horizontal line right there at the highs. Now a vertical line right there on that candle right here, and now another horizontal line right at the intersection, and now another horizontal line on the first candle. Sorry, this is not here. The first candle at the opening of the first candle after the trend line is broken, which is this red candle right here. And now with this information we can calculate. We take the highest price, which is 27.88, it says here. So 27.88 minus the price at the intersection, which is this line here, and it says 25.56. So minus 25.56, and we get that 232. I'm gonna put it down, 232. And now we take the price of the opening candle right below the trend line, which is this line here, and the price is 26.56. 26.56 minus the 232 that we got from before, 232, and the result is 24.24, our target. So let's put a line here at 24.24, and that's our targets. So let's use the short position tool to calculate our stop loss. So we would have opened the trade right here at the first opening price of the first candle below the trend line, and drag it down to our profit taking target and the stop loss to make a 3-to-1 risk reward ratio, which is exactly here. That's close enough, 2.97. If we zoom in, we see the stop loss was not triggered, and our profit taking target was hit here. So it went down below a little bit more, but we can see how this was actually a valid support and resistance line, because it was crossed, but then it bounced, and it was actually resistance. It bounced, but then it went back up. we found some resistance here, and then when it went down, it used our target again as a resistance. So we see it's a valid technique to find valid support and resistance lines and profit-taking targets. So I'm gonna leave it here. I hope this is clear. You have seen I chose 3 random points in this chart, and it actually was 3 valid trades. But you can practice this as much as you want. Of course, only three is not enough to have a realistic average. But if you do it maybe 100 times, then you can actually calculate how many times it was right or it was wrong, and you will see how accurate this actually is. So okay, guys, thank you very much for being here, and I'll see you soon. Bye.